with the red T-shirt on there, Lin Dan, the left-hander. The very first year of the Super Series, he finished the year #1 on the Super Series standings. Viktor Axelsen has been #1 earlier this year, after the India Super Series, where he reached the final.
I also know Viktor wasn't at the Super Series final last year, and he's heard, like a lot of the other players, they've heard that it was a great tournament, it was
Yes.
well arranged, so they're really eager to go.
Yes.
They want to go to Dubai.
Yeah. And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
End of year championships, and the BWF, the Badminton World Federation, has listened to the players about having time off from the Super Series in the first 2 months of the year. Yeah, it's a wonderful setup now. So Lin Dan, the left-hander, turned 32 2 days ago on Wednesday. And there was a bit of a birthday party here for him. Some of the fans brought him a cake. They all sang happy birthday to him. Wonderful it was too. He was very touched by it. In fact, he indicated that he got tears in the eyes. Anyway, his path through to today's quarterfinal, first round against the qualifier, Roel Must from Estonia. He's been doing very well lately. He was beaten finalist at the Dutch Grand Prix last week. And then yesterday against Tu Yun from Hong Kong, went the full distance, dropping the opening game. And that match yesterday against Tu Yun lasting an hour and 5 minutes. 3 times he's won this title, Lin Dan. 4 finals. He was beaten finalist back in 2001. Can you believe that? 14 years ago. Viktor Axelsen was just 7 years of age when his opponents first reached the final here at the Denmark Open. What a year he's been having. The world #7 has been as high as 5. That was in June earlier this year. As we saw, up 1 place in the Super Series standings, up to 3. 4 finals so far this year, and 3 of them have been Super Series, but he's still looking for his first Super Series title. Now, if you were with us yesterday, you would have seen Viktor Axelsen playing such a wonderful match against last year's beaten finalist, So Man Ho of Korea. And that really is correct. 21-15, 21-6. In fact, he was 9-love up in the second game, having won the first was Viktor Axelsen, and we were both very, very impressed with him indeed. New sort of maturity, isn't there, about Viktor Axelsen this year, as we look at our court officials, Christoph Oswald and Kelly Hall from Germany and Australia. This is the 4th meeting between the 2 players. The last time they met was, of course, in the final of this year's Japan Open. And my goodness, what a match that was. An hour and 13 minutes for those 3 games. He was 11-3 up at the change of ends, was Viktor Axelsen, before he eventually lost that final in Tokyo. But of course, in the first round of the Australian Open earlier this year, Viktor Axelsen beat his opponent of today and then went on to reach the final himself.
Right. Lin Dan, China. And on my left, Viktor Axelsen, Denmark. Lin Dan to serve. Love all. Play.
Well, good opening rally.
Yeah.
One love.
Well, second quarter-final here at the Denmark Open for Viktor Axelsen. The first was 4 years ago, 2011. He lost out to Peter Gader in that quarter-final in 3 games. But I remember he caused a sensation by beating former world and Olympic champion Taufik Hidayat on his way through to that quarter-final 4 years ago. Brilliant. Well, we were talking yesterday, weren't we, about the improvement with the movement round the head from Viktor Axelsen.
Yeah. Yeah, and a very good rally there. Both players, actually. I think the match has started out in quite good pace. Here, Kenneth Jonassen and Carsten Oldengård, the mental coach of Viktor Axelsen. Interesting that it was actually Lars Ure that was on the chair yesterday when Viktor was playing Someone Ho.
3-love.
Now, why would they change that?
Probably because they expected yesterday that Jan and Viktor's matches were to clash. So, in order not to divide the concentration, let's split the coaches from the beginning.
Service over. 1-3.
Oh, that's great.
Great
So-
follow-up.
So important for Viktor to follow up on these attacking shots in order to put pressure on Lindan.
Service over. 4-1.
And on the other hand, for Lindan, it's important not to give Viktor these steep angles, because then he'll have a more difficult task of being accurate in his defense.
Service over.
That's too steep.
2-4.
And I keep thinking, and I said it yesterday, I said it in Japan, I'm sure as well, that Viktor Axelsen has to somehow concentrate on keeping the upper body, the torso and the arm relaxed when he's moving round the head. Sometimes he gets a little tense in the arm and the upper body.
Yeah.
3-4.
He was slipping a little bit on the court there earlier in the rally. And there was an example here where he was sort of trying to launch a smash. It wasn't really a smash, it wasn't a drop, it was just right in the racket of Lindan, and probably needs to work a little bit on that. Perhaps a clear or a cross clear is the correct solution there. Saw the match from the final from Japan on Danish television, and the Danish commentator said that Lindan was running more than Viktor, and my initial reaction was just, Lindan is never running more than his opponents. He's got the best technique, the best touch. He's always conducting the rallies, and if he is to run more than his opponent, he's most likely to lose. So it almost never happens that Lindan runs more than his opponent. And if you think that you can sort of wear him down, I think you're wrong. You simply have to play better than him in order to win.
has...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's been a number of these clears look long.
Yeah, it's good judgment, isn't it?
It's interesting about that final in Japan because it would have meant a lot for Victor to get that Super Series victory. But I also think actually that it meant a lot to Lin Dan.
Yes, I thought that too.
We know he's got an endorsement deal with a Japanese company, even though he's playing in the Chinese sponsor here in this tournament. And he was sort of outplayed at the World Championships by Janno Jorgensen. So it was important for him to gear up and show that he's still got it.
Yeah.
And I think we can see here that he's actually playing at a faster pace than at least what I thought he was at the World Championships. So I actually think that he's gotten better.
Yeah.
7-3.
Compared to the last, 6-8 months.
Yeah. Just missed it.
Yeah.
Service over. 4-7.
Big gulp of air after that rally too.
But look how far Lin Dan has
Yeah.
sort of moved to his backhand side. So, as we discussed yesterday, Victor needs to get variation from his backhand side. Preferably all 6 corners. And I mean, it's Lin Dan. I still think his best performances was in 2008 when he totally convincingly won the Olympics on home soil in Beijing. But he's a technically strong player, but he's also a smart player. He's a very, very smart player. The smartest player, perhaps, that has been in the men's singles. So he picks up immediately if you're too focused on one corner.
Yeah. Well, he does have an extraordinary record, at least one final every year for 15 consecutive years, at least one title every year for 14 consecutive years. And it was his first ever final here in 2001 when he lost out to Bao Chunlai that I thought really sort of set him on the road to stardom. I thought that was the catalyst to his future success. I think that's when he started to believe that he could be something special. I remember the match.
I remember his match the year after where he lost in the first or second round, because that was the comeback tournament of Peter Gade after his knee injury, and I was coaching Peter in that match.
Well, he then won in 2003, 2004 and 2007.
Yeah. Won 2 Olympic gold medals and was actually already the favorite to win it in 2004 in Athens, where he was the top seed.
Yeah, that's right. Lost first round to Ronald Susilo.
Yeah.
Well, this is a dream start for Victor Axelsen.
Det er det med at have den samme tålmodighed, men stadig snært af aggressivitet, ikke?
Lige nøjagtigt. Og så stadigvæk, selvom det er hårdt, holde pauserne, fordi så kan du lave den der temposkift, som er så vigtig mod ham, både i armen, men også i benene.
Jeg vil gerne have dit temposkift med,
Ja,
og så kunne falde tilbage.
ja, lige nøjagtigt. Men vigtigt, som du selv siger, snært af aggressivitet hele tiden, som gør, at det putter lidt mere pres på ham. Så dine overspilninger og dine defensiver har været fantastiske. Ja, ikke? Ja? Ja.
So what was the advice there from Kenneth?
Yeah, pretty much to see if he can maintain or get into his game these change of pace. That is really, really important. We were quite satisfied with his patience in the first part of first game and his sort of
Challenge.
Oh,
Sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
In.
that's interesting here. Yeah, that's probably caught the outer part of the line. But last year we saw a lot of challenges where the linesman ruled in favor of Danes and they were overturned by Hawkeye. So hopefully they've sharpened up this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, he wants to be patient, but he also wants to be dangerous.
Then done. One challenge
And,
remaining.
I think the later part of
12-5.
this first game, Victor has been really well. And then Dan has, I thought he started out in a really good pace, but has not at all been able to maintain that. And Victor has been in control of this match. And very interesting to see if he can keep it up.
Oh, look at that. That is magnificent. That's a dream shot.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if you call that a fast drop or a slow smash.
5.
Well,
You Danes call it a stick shot, don't
and
you?
again, the placement more
Yeah.
than the power.
Yeah. Oh, this is phenomenal. 10-point advantage now.
15-5.
Not a good period for Lindan here. I think he started out well and maybe tried to see if he could sort of up the pace in order to get control of the match, but hasn't been successful so far. So let's see if he's going to try the opposite.
Out. So it's over. 16-6.
Yeah, and again, it's not full power, is it?
And had that come over, Victor would have been there at the net. Look at this.
18-6.
Maybe not after all.
So it's over.
Yeah, I was waiting there.
7-18.
Yeah, it really didn't have to be that tight, did it? Read the shot well. Ready and waiting, just needed to place it over and in, and it probably would have been the winner.
I think Lindan's shot was a little bit better than Victor expected. A little bit more downwards.
Service over. 19-7.
Lost the first game. Was it the first game he lost yesterday against Huyun?
Yes, it was, but
Yeah.
it was close,
Service
21-19.
over. 8-19.
Great judgment again.
Interesting to see how I'm pretty sure drift affects the second game.
12 game point opportunities here for the 21-year-old Victor Axelsen. maddening game in just 15 minutes. 21-8 in favour of the number 6 seed from Denmark.
And in some ways, this was...
Så vil jeg være opmærksom på,
Yeah,
at han
let's
spiller
hear what the
flat
coach is saying.
I min baggrund, som ikke når ind og bare spille den lige, fordi den lurer han på nu.
Ja, den kommer han til at lure og vil lave temposkifter derefter. Ja.
Er det ikke rigtigt?
Jo, jeg er enig. Samme udgangspunkt, det er, du ligger og lurer omkring servesituationen.
Ja.
Men det samme, der ikke er mere i den, så bliver du skærpet, når du spiller den første opad og ser, hvad er det, han vil med den her duel.
Ja. Så jeg spiller baggrunden.
Ja. Men snærten af den der offensive skal være der hele
Jeg
tiden.
kan se, det er hans forspilling sådan.
Ja, godt.
Ja. Det er ham, der bliver op, jo.
Ja. Men tålmodighed, variation med i angrebet.
Ja.
Ikke?
Ja, stille og roligt. Jeg behøver ikke nakken. Altså, jeg behøver ikke lave lækre slag hele tiden, bare...
Nej, men altså, det skal have den der konstant, at det er hårdt, og du bare tør at blive ved med at bruge variationerne.
Ja.
Ikke?
Hele tiden, og lige meget, hvad fanden der sker nu.
Ja.
Så arbejde.
Ja, men det her det er stadigvæk en investering.
Ja, ja.
Okay?
A0.
Det er lige A0. 2 nye sæt.
Ja.
Det er det, der er i hovedet.
Ja, der er en 10 minutter. Og så.
Ja. Ja.
120 seconds. 120 seconds.
Okay, well, as we noticed yesterday, the first one to speak really was Victor Axelsen. So once again, the coach is, I think, asking him what he felt. Was that right?
Yeah, and I think that was the way I saw it. The most important thing, Victor said, I got to be a little bit careful now with the straight smash from my round the head side because Lindan is alert to that. And I totally agree about that. The other stuff was a little bit about how to approach the second game here. I think the most important thing is to sort of emphasize and encourage him. He's playing way better than Lindan today. And this first game was, in some ways, the right finish of the 11-3 lead from Japan. This was how big the difference was in Japan.
Yeah.
I wouldn't rule out that Lindan can win this match as well because he's done that numerous times, but that's up to Victor now. That's out, yeah. But there's no reason whatsoever to be afraid. The one who's actually should be a little bit afraid is Lindan because this could get ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the unknown factor. I think Victor is playing with the drift right now. He's not able to push his shots to the baseline as he did in the first game. So will that give Lindan a chance to come back?
Yeah. Yeah, that was concerning you, the effect of that little bit of a drift right at the end of that first game,
and
wasn't
if
it?
there is that drift, then he needs to change tactic and simply fire away on everything and out attack Lindan like this.
Yeah.
And of course, Lindan should try and push Victor to the baseline, flat pushes, control the front court, and challenge Victor to get the correct length on his shot to the back court.
Unbelievable. That is what you call a perfect net shot. Record arm outstretched, hit the top of the tape, trickled over.
Well played.
Yeah.
Well played, and the length on Victor's shot to the backcourt is inconsistent at best. That's a good length.
rough. No, but that's a wild, uncharacteristic shot from Lin Dan, isn't it? And that, to me, shows that he's worried.
Yeah. That's a possibility.
Yeah. It's gone long.
Yeah.
It's over.
But a good rally for Lin Dan because
3,
unless the coaches are very, and Victor himself, of course, is very, very alert to this, that he can afford to make a few mistakes on the baseline, but he can't afford to play short and lose his confidence in the game.
Yeah.
Now we can see Lin Dan taking it more slowly, trying to sort of stay in the game, trying not to lose the game. Stay in it and see if the chances occur exactly like he did in Japan Open. That's wide.
Yeah. You
It's
know, the
yeah.
last couple of rallies, Steen, you know, I've been thinking about what the Danish commentators were saying in during the Japan Open.
And right
final.
now they're right.
And they're right again, aren't they?
Yeah. So right now he's running more than Victor
Yeah.
is, but he's not gonna, it's not going to stay that way unless Victor gets a good lead here. If he keeps hanging on, there's a good chance that he will be able to direct it. But that's well played. That's a very short backhand from Lin Dan. And he simply can't afford that.
7-3.
Crikey.
And the thing is now, Victor has a little bit help from the drift.
Yeah.
So his attack will be a little bit faster, a little bit quicker onto Lin Dan's side than in the first game. Yep.
No, he could have left that, couldn't he?
Yeah, that's well placed because it's variation.
Yeah.
It's so important.
Yep. I do.
Maybe Lin Dan is looking to go down 3-11. His lucky numbers. Well played.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, when you see him play a rally like that, it's just glorious to watch, isn't it?
9.
Oh. But in all honesty, Steve, now that's one of the rare occasions in this quarter-final that Lin Dan really has sent Victor Axelsen in the wrong direction and got him off balance.
I'm so excited to see what's going to happen on the road up to the Olympics and at the Olympics, because at the Olympics Lin Dan has an advantage. He has 2 goals back home in the draw.
Yeah.
But if he is to sort of make use of that, he needs to play better.
Yeah.
He needs to stop losing games to a number of players, and he needs to be more consistent, have a better touch, play at a higher speed. Is that possible? Yes, it is. Is it likely? I don't know about that, because I think maybe we have the same situation back in China as we discussed with Momota, Kenichi Tago. That I think Lin Dan is getting beaten by Chen Long in practice.
Yes.
I can't see Lin Dan beating Chen Long at the moment.
No.
And self-confidence suffers if you lose matches in practice.
Oh, look at that again. And this young man from the host city, Odense, is on fire at the moment, hitting winners at will.
Flotte temposkift efter de lange dueller. Igen, samme tålmodighed, samme overskud i forhold til de valg, du træffer. Godt, at du spiller bagbanen, så bliver der plads på forbanen. Jeg forventer, at han prøver det sidste push, hvor han prøver at sætte en max diff op. Bare have roen på at spille videre og netop gøre det hårdt for jer begge.
Gør det hårdt for ham.
Ja. Ikke?
There was much more there from Kenneth Jonassen.
Yeah, reinforcement of the things that has gone well so far, and also a little bit that they're expecting that Lin Dan will try a last push here and try to set up a really good defense and so on. So he must be ready for that and make it hard for him. Emphasizing the importance that Victor is playing the back court instead of using the front court too much.
Well, the shot was deflected by the net cord, but I have to say, I think that's 3 cross-court smashes from that deep forehand corner in probably the last 6 rallies, or 7 rallies. And each one of them has been a winner.
Yeah, and now, from Victor's perspective, he needs a little bit of variation. What about the body smash? We haven't seen that at all, but that's also very efficient. Jano Jorgensen has shown that when he's playing Lin Dan.
Yeah.
In many ways, I think it's about Victor realizing that right now he's just much, much better than Lin Dan.
Yeah, there was the cross court again. You're right, needs more variation. Yeah. Well, right now, the 2-time Olympic champion looks at a loss as to what to try and do next. And Victor Axelsen, I have to say, is just oozing confidence with every shuttle he strikes.
Yeah.
We thought he was playing well yesterday. Crikey, I think this is even better. Yeah, well taken.
And this is what, from a Danish perspective, I hope, from a badminton lover's perspective, I feared that this is about to get ugly for Lin Dan, because he's simply not up to this.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is glorious.
And of course, there'll be speculations now that, well, Lin Dan was about to meet Chen Long in the semi-final and he doesn't want to do that and so on. Well, that might be possible, but I don't think he's sort of aiming to get like 8-8
No.
in the quarterfinal in the Premier Series against a young player.
Yeah.
It's over. 6.
And that sudden injection of pace in his movement. Movements and shots like that that's really defined the man over the years.
Yeah, it looks so good in the beginning, the pace that he came out with. But yeah, credit to Victor for just following suit.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. And what an interesting match we have waiting for us tomorrow.
19, 6. Victor. Play. Okay, play.
Yes, the way Victor Axelsen is playing at the moment. There's Shah Schwanzer.
Oi! What a fantastic save.
And what a way to bring up match point opportunity. Goodness me, look at this. How on earth
Hey.
did Lin Dan get that back?
20.
But it is match points galore for Victor Axelsen. Goodness me.
It's over.
Well,
7-20.
Victor Axelsen has destroyed the two-time Olympic champion Lin Dan. 21-8, 21-7. 33 minutes. And the celebrations for the 21-year-old Dane. That was incredible.